Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am just bursting with excitement right now. I am so overwhelmed and I'm really tongue-tied. I'm having trouble putting this intro together because this is a really unusual video for me. I have been saying for a while that I want to share a review for this Polène bag. There's a lot of sponsored content online. There's a lot of gifted product with Polène. So yes, this is the video. However, it is a very different video than I was expecting to put together. Eva from Fuchsia Floyd, she approached me about a month ago, and I'm so overwhelmed by the opportunities that YouTube has made available, like the incredible people that I've been able to meet. Well, so she has this bag as well. And she approached me about a month ago asking if I wanted to do a collaboration. Like I said, I'm just really overwhelmed and flattered. I can't believe that she wanted to do this with me. I think this is just wonderful. So what we did, we had a little Zoom session and we went over some topics. The first half is on her channel. Now I'm finally getting into the nitty-gritty, the details, so you know what to look out for. The first half is on her channel. Highly recommend watching that first. It'll be linked below if you don't follow her. She's really funny, really quirky. She's an incredible collection. I definitely recommend checking that out first because we're gonna go over, we wanted this to be like two girlfriends talking about the bag that we like and some of the drawbacks we found, just to really give people a good idea, because this is kind of what you expect with YouTube. Like, a lot of the reviews are very similar. You get a good overview, you find out dimensions, things like that. So we wanted to make something different. On her channel, you're gonna hear about like a general discussion, our first impressions, how it's changed, how things compare to other contemporary brands, and the things that we really, really like about this bag. So definitely check that out. Coming up on this video, I'm gonna bounce to that footage in a moment, but I have my notepad right here. In this video, you're gonna hear about our thoughts on customer service, how our experience was, some of the things that we've heard, how much we've used the bag, wear and tear, general impression of like, would we buy from them again? Just some final thoughts and what we don't like about this bag. So in her video, we talk about what we like. That's how we end that video. And in this one, we talk about what we don't like. I hope that this is a little bit more interesting than just a typical review and it gives you a better overall impression. And you get to hear her thoughts and my thoughts, because in some cases we're very similar and then in some we're a little bit different. And then finally, in this video, we end with, would we recommend this bag to a girlfriend? So yes, I am so excited to show you that footage now. Okay, so we are back with part 2. I am here with Fuchsia Floyd to cover the remaining topics about our Polène bags. If you haven't seen her part 1 already, that is on her channel. And now we're just gonna go through some final topics before we end with whether or not we would recommend this bag to a girlfriend. So kicking off the first topic about customer service, because this is something that I heard a lot about when I posted this video. I know people have very mixed experiences when dealing with customer service. So just based on my experience, it was pretty good. The only interaction I've had with customer service, but of course I liked the bag, was it was taking a lot longer to ship to me. I can't remember what the estimated shipping time was, but I wasn't getting any confirmation email that it had shipped. It had been several weeks, and I reached out to customer service just to make sure that everything was okay. And then they immediately got back to me. I think it was within 5 minutes of me sending the email. Very courteous, very, very polite and sweet in the email. And they kept me updated. It was then a little while longer, and then because it was longer than their expected shipping time, they ended up refunding me the shipping. So that was really nice. I know that there have been mixed experiences though.
Yeah, you had it. I mean, I'm really glad to hear that you had a positive experience. I had a completely neutral experience. Like, I just went on the website, I made the order. I think it was on a Friday. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, but I expected, because it was on the weekend, it was a Friday night, that there would be no action on it until the next work week. And so my vague memory is that it took 4 or 5 business days, to receive a shipping confirmation. And then it took about a week, I think. I don't remember exactly, from when I got the shipping notification for it to actually arrive. And I thought that was faster than I expected, for it coming overseas. So I have a neutral experience. I was pleased. There were no difficulties. And so nothing to report in terms of positive or negative, just completely neutral, really.
That's
I mean, I
great.
guess it was actually positive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that I was also surprised with how once I got the shipping confirmation, those were the words that I was blinking on when I was trying to describe mine. Once I got that shipping notification, I was so pleased with how quickly it arrived. I should have checked this before we started filming, but I think it was a few weeks. I know that's in my first impressions video from when they actually sent out the bag. I am such a nervous Nelly when it comes to buying online. It's ridiculous. I don't know why I have these irrational fears, but I know that some people have had trouble with returning the bag, having to pay for shipping back if they want to return the bag, even though they'll get the refund. Um, I I'm anxious around those kind of things, but I know not everyone has those same worries as I do. Um, Fortunately, it did all work out, and I was happy with keeping the bag.
Good. And we also should mention that there is a $20 shipping fee on top of the price.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know some people say it's like, well, we're always paying for that. It's just you either see it declared there or it's in the price of the bag.
Exactly.
But I think, we're so used to Amazon, just all the free shipping that you see.
Nothing's free.
No, not at all. I can understand someone being frustrated with needing to pay for return shipping if they get a damaged bag. I have heard those stories, again, just internet. I don't know any of them personally, but I've heard about the stories where someone has received a bag that wasn't as described, or it was damaged, and they were frustrated with having to pay for return shipping. I understand that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so on to our next topic. How much have we used the bag, and thoughts on wear and tear? I've used this a lot. That was something that really surprised me. I went on several trips. I went on a few trips to visit parents and my in-laws. When I do those kind of things, I like to take more understated bags. I'll sometimes bring my Chanel reissue, maybe one other bag. But this immediately went in the suitcase. I brought it on every single trip, and it's held up beautifully. There is absolutely no wear and tear. It's a really sturdy leather. I mean, just like on the bottom of yours, as you said. But there's no corner wear, nothing wrong with it at all. And I think I've been caught in the rain with this. I wouldn't be worried at all about getting caught in the rain with this.
Agreed. Yeah. So, I've used, as soon as I got this, I used it for 2 to 3 weeks, like nonstop, because I was because I was so excited about it, and it was so cute and all those things. And I took it on a trip to see my family, and my mom is not into bags at all. But when she saw this, she commented on it right away, and that should tell you something, right? Because it's so eye-catching and so different. She was like, "What is that bag? Let me see it." She wanted to feel it, and so I used it a lot right away. And then that fussy factor that we discussed in that previous video really kind of set in, and I started putting it into rotation. And as soon as I would use it, I would want to switch out of it into one of my other bags. And then it would come back into rotation because I wanted, it was so cute. We just be sitting there and be like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest bag. And also because I knew I had a review coming up, and I really wanted to be as well informed and as authentic as possible when I do a review. I really want to have the experience behind it. So it would come into rotation and then it would go out and come back in and go out. So I'd say 2 to 3 weeks of heavy constant use, and then into rotation. And again, I would use it and then I would want to change out of it. And then I would see it sitting there and be like, oh, it's so cute, I want to use it again. And then I'd be like, I'm ready to change out of it again. So that's my experience with using this bag. But the wear and tear, and like I have also gotten caught in the rain and the water spots. No, it just has repelled the water. No damage with the water.
Gotcha. Yeah, I this might be, I guess, unusual. I change out my bag every single day, sometimes twice a day if I'm going out to a nice dinner. But I certainly have a lot of mini bags. I have a lot of tiny, maybe fussy bags. This bag is unusual in my collection in that it can fit my phone, fit the wallet, fit the sunglasses, keys, a little makeup bag. So what I mean is, I guess for a mini bag in my collection, it can still fit all those things. Because I have bigger bags, certainly that can hold all that, but then they're almost like too big. So this became one of my go-tos right away. And the color went with everything. Oh, something I forgot was I have been reaching for it less in the summertime. I'm curious what your experience with this has been, but in the winter when I bought it, I didn't notice the weight, because for a small bag, I think this is like a little bit on the heavy side. Not heavy. It's hard to describe because it's not, I don't feel weighed down by it, but I went to use it maybe 2 weeks ago and it was 95 plus degrees out. And on that kind of day, humid, hot, I did notice the weight of this. So I was maybe using it a little bit less in the summertime, but in the winter it was every other day, at least 3 times a week. So I think they hold up pretty well for that kind of use.
So I haven't had it in the winter because I only got it, in the late spring. So, but you know what? When my mom when my mom commented on this and she said, "Let me, can I?" She was like, "What is that bag?" And she wanted to reach for it and hold it, and then she goes, "That's heavy." That's the first thing she said. So I don't know what she was expecting, and I didn't like have it packed more than my normal stuff, but that was her first reaction. So if that tells you anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think those things are always helpful to know if people have really sensitive shoulders, if they've had any injuries. I wouldn't describe it as heavy because I definitely have heavier bags. The Mark Cross, because it has like the poplar frame, that is a noticeably heavy bag. But I mean, so I guess it's just kind of a give and take with this kind of thick, sturdy leather. Mm-hmm. You want something that'll really hold up. You kind of have to take the weight that comes with it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Nearly dropped my paper bag. Throw it across the room. Okay, and so then before we get into our dislikes of the bag, some of which we will have mentioned, but we'll go through a nice list. General impressions, if you would buy from the brand again. I think I would. I've definitely looked at the site. When I first got this, I was so impressed with price and the functionality, how cute it was. I think I would. I like a few of their other designs. They came out with that cute minimal basket bag that's been popping up on Instagram recently. I like their minimal style. I've even looked at their belts. I'm kind of curious to try one of their belts, and the color options are just so great.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to buying something else from their website if there was another style that I fell in love with. Currently, I'm not in love with anything yet, but I'm not saying that I won't be.
Yeah. Do they ever have promotions throughout the year? Do you know? Because I'm not really sure on that.
I don't know.
Do they have I wonder if maybe they have some kind of winter
I don't know. We'll be following along.
We'll have to find out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've watched such limited sponsored content on this, so I'm not sure if people usually have like influencer codes, or occasionally free shipping. They might do that in the wintertime. That might be a push for me to try something else from them. But I do like the styles, so I've definitely looked at their website quite a few times since buying this, but I'm also like a habitual browser. Okay, so going into our dislikes, before giving the final decision of whether we would recommend it to a girlfriend, and of course all the likes we finished up on your channel. So I don't like the squeaky strap. I would be so curious to hear in the comments if anyone has this bag or if you've noticed this, but it probably won't pick up on the mic. But when I'm walking or if these move, I think it's because the leather is quite tight in this ring. Are you hearing this at all on your end? You are. It's a really squeaky strap. It might just be because the leather hasn't softened up. So that's something that kind of annoys me. This I have mixed feelings on because I find this very difficult to adjust. I'm simply never going to adjust it because I find these kind of studs really obnoxious to change. And this will definitely not work crossbody on everyone. I think that's definitely something to consider. It sits on my shoulder, and so if that's what someone had to do, it's like you could do it, but then the bag kind of sits like this because it's a little bit top heavy. That's a dislike that I noticed. I didn't love how sharp the strap was. Maybe that was just maybe quality will vary across different bags, and I think that's something that you just kind of have to accept with this price point. You're going to have variations in quality for the bags. So I wasn't keen on how sharp the strap was, and the fact that it left that like fuzzy stripe on one of my sweaters. Then that I had to be wary of what I wore it with. I was expecting it the moment I felt it, so I was avoiding using silks and more delicate fabrics underneath the bag. Fortunately, it has softened up, but it's probably something to be wary of. And I think that was most things. I think my other like final thought was I hesitate buying from them again when I know that people have had inconsistent experiences. I never know, thinking, have I just been lucky that it all worked out? There was no damage. I got a bag I wanted. So I had a good customer service experience. But I guess, again, that's just something that I'm wary of.
Interesting. So, okay, here we go with my list of likes. I'm just turning this down. I don't know. Can you hear mine?
No, I don't hear anything.
So yeah, our microphones aren't very good on the computer, but
Right,
for sure my strap is squeaky as well. So that was on my list. I'm very relieved to hear that yours squeaks as well. So I know it's not just, my bag. The length, I've got mine on the longest length possible. And
Me too.
And I'm short. I'm like 5'3" or 5'4". I still need to get measured because I'm saying this on YouTube now, and I need to have an accurate measurement. So the next time I go to the doctor, I'm really going to get measured. Anyway.
That's not mine yet. They told me I shrunk.
Really?
So I'm like, what? No, it's too early for that. I'm about 5'5", and yeah, they told me, like, they checked my chart and they're like, wait, you shrunk a little bit.
Well,
anyway,
maybe I can assume that I've shrunk. I'll just start saying 5'3", so that'll make my life easier. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Megan. This was a beast to adjust because it did not come on the shortest strap. I mean, my fingers were aching after I adjusted this post here on this strap. Oh my word. So yeah, that's a beast to adjust. And I mean, it's not, I mean, okay, hang on. It is fully detachable, but like, why would you want to detach it?
Yeah, I never would. No way.
Oh my gosh.
It would
But
be very cute, like handheld, but
right, right. But oh my
it would
gosh, to
never
go
be
through
worth
that
it.
effort again? Oh, oh. But I would actually want to detach it to store it, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, I mean, for storage purposes, I can understand why you would want to detach it. Oh my, but I would never want to go through that effort because that's a real pain. Those posts and the hard leather, as we've discussed, the bag is made out of very hard leather, so that is a real challenge there. Anyway, so the straps are actually a dislike, and as we alluded to in the one of the overarching questions in part one, in terms of my initial first impressions versus how I feel about it now, I do feel it's quite a fussy bag. I mean, it's still cute, so I feel like it weighs out. But in terms of the fussiness, it's related to the opening and the closing, and it just closed. But it's very inconsistent with me about how easy it closes, and I I've heard other people say that there's a magnet here, but
Yeah, there is.
I don't
It
feel
doesn't.
like my magnet is very strong. I don't feel the gravitational pull.
I normally like I usually just let it find it when I'm trying to close it quickly, I guess in store or wherever. I wonder if the magnets vary because mine feels quite strong.
My
Oh,
magnet's not strong.
I just realized I still have the sticker on the inside.
I so now that I'm, of course I'm right here looking at it and I can get it every time. But when it's down here, and I'm in a hurry and
Yeah, you're busy, you're moving around.
yeah, it's so what I'm trying to say is it's not an easy consistent close. And I don't feel that my magnet is very strong. And I don't feel that gravitational pull come in. And I don't feel the magnet helping it close.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a defect or if they're all like this. So anyway, I'm not pleased with the closing. If the magnet were stronger and you just push it down and whoosh, it just like closed easily, then that would be great. But it for my bag, it's not like that. It's a little bit of work, and sometimes it just goes, but not every time. So
I guess it's kind of like you have to find this happy medium because if it was too strong, it would be really obnoxious to open.
That's true.
And, you'd be yanking on it but then it would snap closed right away.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, that bothers me enough to, yeah. And then the snaps here. And then I remember when I unboxed it, I was like, oh, look, this is cool. Like you have this feature and you can pop it open and, get into your things by having more access there. And then you don't have to close it. You don't have to close those, or you don't have to snap those things closed again, and it'll still look cute. But when I do want to close these snaps, I have to really get a firm grip and really make an effort. And
that's why I never do it.
That's why you never close your
it's
snaps.
It's never worth it.
See, I just tried that. I don't know if you saw that. I just tried to make the snap and it just unsnapped on me. So, like, that's what I'm saying is that when I do, and look, that one just came undone. Did you notice that? So
no. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's really bizarre. See, I don't think I've noticed any of that just because I constantly leave them open. I think I've closed them twice in all the months that I've had it now. Because I hate any kind of fuss with the bag.
But because I like the look so much, sometimes I do want to make it look all cute because I like the cuteness of it. And I think the reason I'm more aware of these snaps is because I've just recently reviewed that other bag, the brioche that has snaps in it. And I'm way more like, snaps. Like, I just compared another bag with snaps, and I don't know, I'm kind of hypersensitive to the snapping thing. So that's another, it's just on my mind, I guess. But because of the look of the bag, I still like the bag, and I think the fussiness is worth it if you want the look for it. But actually, I've just probably given away my advice to my friend, but but that's my dislike, is the opening and the closing. It really it was really starting to annoy me and making me want to rotate out of the bag.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's hard because there's really, I mean, different things will bother different people. It's hard to give a really clear cut answer just with no qualifiers like yes, no. I don't use it every single day. I know that I have bags that are easier to use. I love how sturdy and cute this is. I mean, this is reflective of my collection, but that's definitely, this offers something different from the other bags I have. You know what I noticed just the other day? These little wings, they're actually not the same length. I don't know if you can tell or if it's only noticeable in person, and because I'm like the one pinching it closed, but this one is shorter than this one. This one's longer.
Oh.
And so it actually, I guess that's like a minor defect on this bag that I forgot to mention earlier. Would you, if you had it your way, like if you were the designer at Polène, would you keep those snaps, or would you have this just be sewn closed?
I would maybe keep the snaps, but put magnets in there, maybe just to make it easier to keep them together. And a stronger magnet. I think, even like you said, maybe not too strong, but a stronger magnet in this portion.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? In their tote. Have you seen their one big open tote?
I did see one, I mean, I haven't looked at it myself online, but I saw a video where someone had it on their wish list. Yeah.
Okay. So you know how the magnets are underneath the leather in that tote, and you can fold it all in and make the pretty shape and bring the tote in? That might be kind of interesting if instead of these snaps, it was those magnets, that which automatically pinch closed, and they're underneath the leather. That might be kind of neat.
Yeah, give you some options there, or less effort maybe.
So are we ready to give our final?
I think we are.
So again, it's so hard to give a clear-cut answer. I think ultimately, whether or not I would recommend it, I said yes for the current price. We can always expect minor increases with inflation and with these kind of handbag brands, especially as they gain popularity. I know that this handbag has gone up in price over the last few years. It's become more popular. My final answer to whether or not I would recommend it would be like, yes, assuming it doesn't go up too much in price, if that makes sense. I think with some of the quality issues you might run into, with some of the functionality issues, I don't think I would pay hundreds more than what I paid for this handbag. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. And I would tell my friend, yes, if you are interested in this bag, yes, but with caution, as I just mentioned, about the fussiness. So if I had a girlfriend who doesn't like fussy bags, I would be like, wait. I would just give the big caution flag about the fussy features. But if I had a friend who just loved unique things and liked, new styles that not everyone had, then I would recommend that they purchase this bag for that reason, So like you said, you just can't always give a yes or no answer. But if I would tell my friend, as long as you know these things going into it, then I would recommend it. So yeah.
Yeah, if the strap is a good length for that person, if it's going to sit at the right spot for them, I think it is a good bag. I'm definitely happy with the purchase. It's not the kind of bag where I'm like, wow, I need 5 of these.
No, I would not buy multiples of this. And also, because I have bags to rotate. That's also something I wanted to say today, is because I have bags to rotate into. Like, I definitely enjoy the rotation of the bag.
Yeah.
If I would not be able to use this bag as an everyday bag for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those were all the topics we wanted to cover. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and doing this.
Yeah, it's been super fun.
Got to talk over this bag. I never get to do this.
It's been super fun.
And we're back. I really hope you enjoyed that. As I said in the beginning, the first half is on Eva's. I hope you've watched that at this point. I know that this is a lot more watch time than a typical review, but if you're interested in this bag, and I know that I was really intimidated ordering it for the first time, like I said in her video, I think like the reason I got it was because Emma Anders gave it the green light with the brand. She got a different bag. But I know that I get really intimidated ordering things online when I've never held them in person, so hopefully this gives you a better idea of just like what we think about it in a little bit different way from, yeah, your typical setup. I don't know where I'm going with that. Like I said, I'm still just really excited that we were able to do this, so I really hope people find it helpful. But as you saw from the video, we both really like this bag. She finds it a little bit more fussy than I do. There are definitely some fussy moments that I run into. The main thing I think is these snaps. If you want to minimize the fuss factor, I say keep it unsnapped. And you still get a pretty cute buttoned up look even when they're not buttoned up. So those were our final thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. If there's anything we didn't cover, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I really hope you enjoy this. I can't say that enough because I know that we had a blast doing this together. And thank you so much to Fuchsia Floyd for approaching me about this. Yeah, overwhelmed doesn't begin to cover it. I'm so thrilled with this entire experience. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.